All right, that was our man, Toyin Bitoye, giving us updates from Brazil. Tony, quickly, well, that's what it looks like, and hopefully tomorrow it's going to remain like this. But Tony, let me ask you, what would be your own expectation?
My own expectation would be to see Nigeria play a sensible game. The minimum they need
is a draw.
Anything beyond that will be a very welcome bonus.
Okay.
But it is not. How do I put it? It is not paramount that we get a win. Yes, we have France in the second round, but who says that Nigeria can't go even further? So I'd like to see a sensible game tomorrow. One that just sees out the minimum required, which is
allows you to get the result. Cosmos, before we move on to other interesting things, I don't know, do you think it's suicidal if we go toe-to-toe with the Argentines? Some have said, I mean, you can't match this guy, so why go toe-to-toe with them? But from what you've seen from both sides, do you think it's suicidal if we go toe-to-toe, or we can do whatever, we can take whatever approach we like?
And who says it's suicidal if we go toe-to-toe with the Argentines? Seriously, I wanted to say before, this Argentina team is not the sort of a strong Argentine team that we've known in previous World Cup. Okay. They were very strong at the last World Cup. Yeah, they left in the quarterfinals, but then I don't think this present Argentinian team right now is as strong as they used to be. They're suspect at the back. They succumbed to pressure, especially in that first game when Bosnia was really going at them in the first half. You could see that they were not matching up to their potentials like we know they used to be.
Okay,
so I'm not saying it's not like, of course, we should be safe.
If we go out, it's not a risk.
It's not a risk.
Okay.
If we're safe, the thing there is that we should just be safe. We should just make everything, like he said, he expects sensible game. So even if we beat Argentina, it's not going to be a big deal.
All right. This should also concern us. If we qualify, if and when we qualify, what is happening in this group will matter. It wouldn't matter too much now, but some of us were looking at that group with the back of our eyes. As it stands, France on top of Group E, 6 points, having won 2 games, followed by Ecuador. After that, Switzerland, and of course, Honduras. So these are it stands, and if we come second, we're likely going to meet France. But let's get to that bridge. When we get to that bridge, we'll surely we'll cross it. All right, let's move on the show tonight. Let's go talk about our African brothers. Initially, it was Nigeria, match fixing allegations. Now, Ghana has been thrown into the mix. Today, let me ask you quickly, this thing about Ghana, and some prominent figures being fingered, or well, let me say named.
Yeah.
And they've gone to FIFA. FIFA has also said they will investigate. But I think Ghana's response, the swift response, should be commended.
And I think it's plenty that is something that the Nigerian Football Association
did not do.
Should learn from.
Yes.
Because the more you keep quiet, the longer it continues to fester.
Silence means consent.
The more it means people continue to read into it, that your silence
probably guilty.
Is pregnant with so many meanings.
Loaded with meanings.
That maybe you are trying to buy time so that you can start your damage control or to suppress, But the way and manner which the Ghanaians quickly sprang to the defense of their team and their integrity was very commendable.
All right.
They didn't waste time at all. Christian Yataki immediately addressed a press conference. They have even invited the Ghanaian police to begin investigations as well. They've taken the matter.
But that's why I'm saying lawsuits could follow.
Of course, and they're already threatening the Daily Telegraph in the UK. And the other TV program, I can't remember their name now. They are threatening them with massive lawsuits as well, and that is exactly how it should be. You cannot besmirch the honor of a country
without proof.
And that is exactly the kind of stance I would like the NFA to adopt in the future when these kind of things come up. But if your hands are caught in the cookie jar, there's very little that you can that you can defend.
All right, let's listen to the Ghanaians, the fans, the administrators. They had things to say. Let's listen to them, and then we'll move on Sports Tonight.
So far as the game is concerned, to take whatever punitive measures that they think they need to take. But the fact still remains that it is an allegation. Let us be very, very clear about that. An allegation and they are still looking into the matters. Whether it was orchestrated or otherwise, we need to find out, and the reasons why people take an interest in, coming out with stories of this nature.
I think the investigation should go on, because I know there won't be any positive outcome. So, to prove the innocence of the Black Stars, or I think the president of the GFA, I think the investigation should go on. So that
I feel bad for that, because I don't want to hear anything like that, because it puts something to some of the football players, and then even we Ghanaians will think badly about that kind of things.
Which is in relation to your inquiry, we are aware of the media reports and have been contacted by the Ghana Football Association on this matter. In line with standard procedures, FIFA Security Division is evaluating the matter. It is important to note we have no indications that the integrity of the FIFA World Cup has been compromised. Speaking generally, the integrity of the game is a top priority for FIFA, and as such, we take any allegations of match manipulation very seriously. So there is not more what we can say at this stage. As we say, there's evaluations by the FIFA Security Division. Well quoted, FIFA has a zero stance against discrimination, and we're taking that very seriously. But it's the disciplinary committee which is analyzing all aspects, and then they take the necessary action according what is within line the regulation and based on the evidence submitted to them.
The integrity of the 2014 FIFA World Cup is not in doubt as far as FIFA is concerned. So whatever those allegations were about, surely wasn't about Ghana's participation in this World Cup. So you can be rest assured that whatever Ghana does, I mean, there is no hand behind the scene. There's no puppet master pulling the strings somewhere. But we hope that the Black Stars will come out of this clean, and the integrity. Yeah, this is the updates from the Group C game. Guys, we're talking about it during the break. The game currently going on. Just got from bad to worse for Japan, because Cote d'Ivoire doesn't need to. The Ivorians don't need to do anything. If they don't, I mean, they just leave things the way they are.
And well, with modern football now as it is, even though the fact that matches are being played simultaneously, it even helps Cote d'Ivoire scores, because trust me, someone is on the end of the line, monitoring what is going on and giving it to the and telling the players, the bench, that this is exactly what is going on. So as it stands now, we are through. But if it changes, we will let you know. So if Cote d'Ivoire understands this, they will adjust their tactics accordingly. Greece, on the other hand, know they still have to win in order to have any chance of even qualifying. So they will still...
I think it's a favor for Greece as well, because if they beat the Ivorians, they will be on 4 points.
They have to beat the Ivorians.
They just have to.
They have to. Meanwhile, but the Ivorians will be very content with a draw. But there's also the issue of the double match bonus they have been promised if they win. So it's kind of a quandary now. So do we go for the win? And possibly get hit on the counter and possibly lose this game, or do we do the minimum required? The minimum required is to qualify. You can always earn.
Should we allow the administrators keep the money in their pocket?
Maybe the minimum requirement will probably get them that stuff. But then it's important to mention that Juan Cuadrado scored a penalty for Colombia in the 17th minute.
All right, the goal was scored in the 17th minute, as Cosmos just told you. Before we go on the break, let's talk about Spain. Another country we have to learn from. The Spaniards came to this World Cup. We always knew they weren't going to be able to defend their title, but we didn't expect them.
Don't say that. I mean,
nobody. Most fans didn't expect Spain to come and successfully defend their title. We just didn't know that they were going to lose. But they touched down in Spain, and it's interesting to know that they were welcomed by fans. I mean, they were well received.
Wow.
And that's good.
That's rare.
It's rare. There was an African team. I remember, I'm not going to mention names. Well, let me mention names anyway. The Ivorians, the team that came for the 2000 Nations Cup.
Ghana, Nigeria, 2000.
They came down from the airport. They were asked to do frog jumps. There was an Italian team.
They were bundled into trucks and taken to military barracks, and where they were comprehensively, I mean, dealt with. Actually.
At the time, they had the military. It was a military government, so you would expect
the Italians at some point were locked in a room with rotten potatoes.
That was at what
Tomatoes,
point?
tomatoes.
That was like years back. So
All right,
you can't
but
say that yet.
we must commend the Spaniards, and this is how it should be done. A team that has brought you glory in times past. They didn't do well, but it's still your team,
Very
and
true.
you should love them.
Yeah.
Okay, that's something to commend from the Spaniards. Let's go on a break. When we come back, we'll leave football for a while, unless there is an update to give to you. We're done with football. We'll be talking tennis. Join us again. Welcome back. I said we were going to leave football unless there was an update to give. There is an update to give, and that's why. As a matter of fact, the game Colombia and Japan is 1-1 as we speak. It's 1-1 as we speak, and Greece 1 goal up. Today, before we leave this, let's quickly talk about the implication of this result quickly. Ivorians on the way back home.
Well, if you say
If
that,
it-
but
if it
it's
stays
just,
this way.
there's still 45 minutes to
Yes,
play.
yes.
There's still
It's
plenty
halftime
there's
in
plenty
Japan,
to play
Colombia,
for.
as we speak.
It's halftime in the Greece Cote d'Ivoire game as well. So Cote d'Ivoire now know exactly
What
what,
they have
it
to
is
do.
that they have to do. They've been called the golden generation for so many years. This is their last chance at the big time, and they have to get a win. A draw, actually. As long a draw will see them through.
A draw will be okay.
But they have to come from somewhere to level this game
long
up
as
or possibly
Japan-
win it.
as long as Japan does not win.
Does not beat Colombia. I don't see Japan beating Colombia.
Colombia, yeah.
I don't see Japan beating Colombia. They are just putting up a spirited performance so they don't go back home, on the back of 3 consecutive defeats. But I still think that Colombia are good enough to see out Japan.
All right.
And now the Elephants of Cote d'Ivoire have to really show why they are one of the biggest teams on the African continent.
All right, let's leave football and move on now with the few minutes we have left to talk about tennis, and let's talk about Wimbledon. It's day 2, and today Sharapova defeated Murray. It's not Andy Murray. But let's talk tennis quickly. Cosmos. Let's talk about the guys. Let's start with Federer. Easy one for him, but first round match usually always easy for the top guys.
Yeah, always easy for the top guys. One is game 6-1, 6-1, 6-3. Very easy for him. Straight set. It really showed that he probably wants to get this one. Probably get his 18th Grand Slam title. Very difficult one because we have the likes of...
Was it easy for Nadal? Yeah. Lost the first set.
Yeah, lost the first
To
set.
Martin Kidzian
Exactly.
of the Czech Republic, lost 4-6, then he came back to win 6-3, 6-3, 6-3 consecutively. Serena Williams also world number one seed in this competition, also beating Anna Tatishvili 6-1, 6-2. Sabine Lisicki also overcame Julia Glushko of Israel 6-2, 6-1. Anna Ivanovic also threw as well, beating Francesca Schiavone. Agnieszka Radwanska also threw as well, Stanisław Wawrinka, Angelique Kerber. So it's been a good day for many of the
That one is
of
in
the
the team.
seeds.
The women's side, but when you look at the men's side as well, you have to know that Djokovic is doing well, Nadal doing well.
Some
Bedic
guys
actually
doing
won.
Some
David
guys
Ferrer
did
won
well.
against his compatriots.
Guys, we had to go. I mentioned Andy Murray earlier. Was Samantha Murray. Most of us were wondering
Samantha Murray.
where she came from, but she lost to Maria Sharapova in the first. So that was what happened on day 2. That's how we wrap things up on this Wednesday night edition of Sports Tonight. We do hope that you've enjoyed everything that we've... On the Tuesday night edition of Sports Tonight, I beg your pardon. We do hope that you've enjoyed everything we've brought to you. We hope that by the time you see us tomorrow, we'll be talking about a victory for the Super Eagles.